Well, hello and welcome everybody to the New Health Conversation. I'm absolutely delighted to interview and give you an interview with just an amazing lady who is a nurse and has an unbelievable story. Before I introduce her, I want to show you her unbelievable transformation. And what's so amazing about this interview is that she did this protocol, or a version of this, not the version we're using, years ago, and for whatever reason, she'll tell her story, she got off track and got back on. So we have from day one, and then we have 730 days later, but there was a transition period where she didn't do it really for years and came back on board. So I'm really excited to welcome Cynde Carpenter to the New Health Conversation. Before I start, a little housekeeping. This is for educational purposes, not intended to treat, diagnose, or recommend any diseases or impact any diseases. So Cynde, welcome. I'm really happy to have you today, and I think you're going to be able to help an awful lot of people that I really feel that we're kind of suffering in quiet desperation. So just kind of fill us in, because with, people always ask and they think this is like a quick weight loss thing. Well, obviously you lost some weight years ago, got off it, tried lots of other things, and then came back on board. So just kind of fill us in on that journey and why you're so excited that these results now are just spectacular.
Hey, buddy. Yes, let's do this. I'm so excited. So, yeah, I knew about this 20 years ago. Definitely the old way. I had great success then. Blown away by the products, by the whole entire system, but we didn't have what we have now. And I'm so thankful that I came back because Peter called me and told me, hey, we have these peer reviewed studies. That changed everything. Um, and as a medical professional, that just opened up so many windows. And when I saw that this was not just for weight loss, that this was for metabolic syndrome. So, any of those five factors, most Americans have one of the five: triglycerides, cholesterol, blood pressure, A1C, inflammation. And matter of fact, me as a nurse, I had inflammation in my left leg. So I went on the protocol 5 days later, all the inflammation is gone. I sleep better. I have full energy. I feel like I'm 25 again. I'm 56, and the inches just rolled off. I didn't exercise. I'm down 40 pounds. I'm below my high school weight. I just went to a massive party where I got to wear a fancy dress, and I didn't have to squeeze into it. It felt good to be able to go in, try something on, find my size, not have to try 50 dresses on, but just find one that fit and fit like a glove and not like a sausage. So it just makes a difference when you can feel good and fit good in your clothes. So I'm just excited because I've helped so many people, reduce the inflammation, lowered their blood pressure medicine with their doctor's approval, of course. And this is just all about nutrition. And that's why I'm so excited about it.
Well, I think what's interesting is that you can give us a unique perspective because you did a version of this. Let's say
Mhm.
the very first adaptations, which this has evolved so much. But just give us your kind of latest story of when you kind of got back on, and obviously the weight in inches and how that transitioned for you, because I think that's what people really want to know is, okay, as of today, the way that we're doing the protocol is so different than the way you did it years ago. So what's your,
Right.
like, your new story, pounds, inches, energy, all those things? What period of time, and as you've progressed, I mean, my God, it's been years and years and years, and I think there's something about your high school weight, but I'm just curious.
Yes, yes. So yeah, so as I got back on it, I've been on it 2 years now. But 2 years ago in August I started, and I just, the inches started rolling off. And then Peter always says, don't focus on the scale, make sure you're measuring. And I would measure. And it just, it was like, this is incredible. Every time you hit the scale, every time I was measuring, I was down. And I wasn't even exercising, and that's just, I mean, it's amazing. So I'm down 40 pounds. I went on vacation last year and I lost 8 pounds on vacation. I came to Arizona. So, when I got back, I was like, wow, because we've all hit those plateaus. So, I mean, I felt like I was at a plateau last year, but I was happy with where I had lost. And then all of a sudden, boom, I hit another 8 pounds down on vacation. Who does that? So that's where it just, the inches add up. And I always tell people, don't focus on that number. Don't get sidetracked. Just keep going because you will feel the inches and everything reduce.
Well, I think the thing that people are always very curious about, and I think I'd like you to comment on that. That you've been on other diets, etc., and how much easier. This is not a diet. It's not about counting calories, as you've just said.
Right.
But the key is that people always ask me, what did they do? How did they do it? How did she do this? Well, obviously you did something called protein pacing. Well, I'll touch on that in a moment, and then have you comment on it. So essentially what the researchers who had done this, as you will, and you met the number one nutritional researcher in the world just a couple of days ago, and it blew your mind, right? But anyway, what had happened, just
For the audience now, that these researchers, who are the top nutritional and weight loss researchers in the world for 38 years, had done almost 150 studies of pretty much every single diet out there. Now, because you're a nurse, you'll back this up. One of the things we've always been told is it's really unhealthy to lose weight, really fast on a diet. I think we'd be in violent agreement on that. This is not a diet. It doesn't work anything like that. Because unlike diets, what's the downfall? Of the 150 studies they'd done, there was no doubt, no matter whether it was paleo or keto or Mediterranean or time-restricted eating or Jenny Craig Weight Watchers, Nutrisystem, the Cornish diet, the Zone diet, lose weight for your blood type. I mean, it makes my head swim when I go into Barnes & Noble, which I have to do, and my books are in Barnes & Noble, so I love Barnes & Noble. I mean, the diet section is it's daunting. It's so crazy daunting. And obviously, you as a nurse, you see the outcomes. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But I want to just finish on this track. So protein pacing is essentially, for all of you want to know, like 5 days a week, you're having protein, but not like you've ever done it before. Only 40% of the protein comes from the grocery store. The other 60% of the protein comes from a protein source where the absorption of the amino acids, which is the only reason we ingest protein in the first place, not for the protein, but for the amino acids. So if you take steak, chicken, liver, fish, you get about 30% of the aminos. But in this protocol, the researchers found a source of protein where the absorption is 91%. So part of the reason that you shrank, and I'm going to show, while I'm talking, I'm just going to show the people again the transformation, especially in your stomach areas beyond comprehension with no exercise. That's
Right.
because you shrank the visceral fat and you literally you gained lean muscle mass. That's proof positive. And it's a little bit complicated, so I'm not explaining it in full depth yet. But the point is, you experience that. Then 2 days a week, and this is the part I really want, called intermittent nutritional fasting. Boom, red alarms going off. Oh my God, fasting, I don't eat. No, this is completely different. So 2 days a week, you're doing intermittent nutritional fasting. On those days, you're consuming no food from the traditional grocery store, which you do, by the way, when you're doing protein pacing. 40% of your food comes from the grocery store, 60% from 5 foods from around the world that have massive amounts of nutrition, not massive amounts of calories, okay? So can you just tell the audience, because you have perspective from 20 years ago to today, do you find it really easy? And the people that the people you're helping, what are they saying about it? Because I know you're working with people that need to lose like over 100 pounds, well over 100 pounds. Am I correct?
Oh, yes. Right. So, from doing it before and now, completely different. Before, like I said, I had good results, but today, in with the R2M, completely different. It's so much easier because we have a system, and it's a step-by-step guide. It's very simple. I always say, if my mother can do it, anybody can. And my mother has done it with me. She's been doing this for 2 years. She's now 80 years old, zero medicine, thank goodness. And she is, she's down 74 pounds. So, it's like, if
Almost
it's
her
good for
age.
your mom, anybody can do this. So it's just it's amazing to me that I can help so many patients, so many people with whatever health journey they're on, whether it's weight loss, weight gain, either way, but it's all the other things in between to feel better. And at the at the end of the day, I'm down 40 pounds, 18 inches overall from my neck to my ankles. And that's pretty incredible. I was on keto for 2 years, up a pound, down a pound. I mean, never could I get where I'm at today with what I've done. I've tried everything. I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars, weight loss clinics, this clinic, that. I never did the shots, but I have had several patients that have done the GLP-1 shots. You know, some it works for some, it works, different ways. I've heard a lot of side effects, based on patients telling me, about their side effects. I'm not against it. However, I feel like the R2M can enhance it, and give you the good quality nutrition that your body's lacking. So that's where you really need to build on the nutrition.
Well, again, as a health professional, I mean, again, even comparing the results of the shot, it's not even in the same zip code in terms of, and
No.
we know, and I've got a big study from the New England Journal of Medicine, 68 weeks, people lost 32 pounds in 68 weeks. I mean, I know your own mom at 80 years old. I mean, I think she lost like 60 pounds in about 6 or 7 months. And
Yes.
that's twice as much as anybody lost on doing, even the shot. And I'm like you, I'm not against the shots. I'm not saying that that's a problem because it is helping people that are diabetics or people that are obese. But isn't it true you have people right now that you're actually helping who went on the shots and have gained back the weight so rapidly they're shocked, right? Am I correct?
Yes.
Every
Yes. I
person
just
who's
spoke to
stopping.
a patient yesterday. The same thing. They stopped doing the shots because they were so expensive. And, let's face it, we need something that's affordable for everyone's budget. And, but that was the one thing that they said yesterday. I stopped doing the shots. I've gained the weight that I lost on the shot plus some, so it's
Well,
depleting
in,
their.
in, in one of my 4 books, I wrote about
Oh,
the
yeah.
fact that 66 and two-thirds of people who go on any form of calorie-restricted diet gain back more weight than they lost. You're seeing exactly the same thing. I mean, the one thing that we pride ourselves on, and especially with health professionals like yourself, we don't give you opinions. We're giving you, as you know, there are 7 peer-reviewed human trial studies that are backing this up. And in all your years and everything you've seen out there, you've never seen any supplement diet program that ever had peer-reviewed human trial studies till now. And the thing that's so amazing about this, as your pictures reflect, is that you shrank that belly fat. Again, I want to show everybody just real quickly. Look at her picture on the left and then look at her picture on the far right. And it's not photoshopped in any way. So as
No.
the visceral fat shrank, in its place, she made lean muscle mass. Like, a matter of fact, I was talking to a lady today, and she was concerned that she's been on it for like years, okay? And so she was doing, measuring her fat and her muscle. And when we analyzed it, she thought, well, it's slowing down. Well, when we analyzed it, she had actually lost twice as much fat as she thought and gained twice as much muscle as she thought. So again, the number on the scale didn't change that much, but her physiology inside did change. And again, I want to show everybody your picture. You can see on the left and then on the right. I mean, look at that. And that is without exercise. So I think the thing for everybody to understand is that this is just so revolutionary, but it's the only weight loss, the only nutrition, the only, let's call it they're not supplements, protocol that have these medical studies. So as a medical professional, as you well know, no drug you would ever give to anyone is not subject to a peer-reviewed human trial study. And yet there's no diet out there that on their own has ever been subjected to a peer-reviewed human trial study. So, but do you agree that most people, including yourself, as great as the weight loss is, and you're fitting in your skinny jeans, and you look good in your dress at the big gala you were at the other night, that's probably the least important part. Am I right?
Yes. Going back to those pictures, I thought I looked good in that first picture. But then looking back now, I see the inflammation. I see, that visceral toxic fat that I was holding on to that, I had no idea, that it was so dangerous. But that visceral toxic fat is all the fat around your organs and, your heart, I mean, your liver, everything. So I know that I have a scale that measures my visceral toxic fat. And I was at 13 when I started. I'm now at 6. So that is, I mean, and it also measures my metabolic age. It tells me that I'm 46 and I'm 56. So I've gained 10 years on my life, just by doing the R2M protocol. And somebody said to me, "What are you going to do it the rest of your life?" Why not?
Why
I
would you ever
feel good.
stop?
I feel amazing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to stop. So
I think
I'm
that
just
really is
happy.
one of the big, well, and we should tell them R2M stands for race to maintenance.
Race to
The
maintenance.
whole idea is to get you to go as quickly and safely as possible. And I mean, I can tell you right now, Cindy's working with all kinds of people. I mean, lots and lots of people. And she already has one young woman that's already lost I think you got a couple of people who've lost like 100 pounds. And
Hmm.
then I think you have a patient now. I think he started at something like 650 pounds and he's down.
Yes.
But even though I think he's
He's
lost like,
down 559 or 54 pounds.
so
Yeah,
he's down
554,
so he's almost down 100 pounds.
100 pounds.
But
But he
again,
couldn't weigh on the scale when he
wow.
was over 600. There was no scale that he could weigh on. So he was so excited to finally get a number. And it just keeps, and the fact of his quality of life, he's able to get out of the house. He's able to function, work in the garage, and I mean, actually do things that he hasn't done in years. So we're giving him his quality of life back. And that's where, it just makes me happy as a nurse to be able to help people, and
Well,
really help them feel good.
yeah, I think also we can see her T-shirt there. If any of you want to get a hold of Cynde personally, that's her site, Cynde Cynde R2M.com, Cynde
Yes.
R2M.com, and we'll also have a link, if you want to get a hold of us, etc. But Cynde is on the front line. She's one of the coaches coaching people. Just talk about coaching for a second, because people all the time, how much is the coaching? As you know,
Free.
we coach for
Free.
free, right?
Yeah, free. You can
And
call me, text me anytime. I will help you day and night.
right.
I do work as a nurse at night, but it doesn't matter. I will help everyone. And it's just, I've loved doing this. I love helping people.
Well, and the,
And
the other thing is, so again, just to recap, so 40% of the food that Cindy's ingesting is from a grocery list that the researchers who put together these studies, you had to understand, these studies were, they'd never done anything like this before. But they knew that every diet they'd ever put someone on, they lost weight, about 40% was lean muscle, and every person gained back at least or more weight than they'd lost in the beginning. So the whole key was they had to figure out, okay, if we lower the quantity of food, we got to make sure we don't lower the quantity of nutrition, and that's what they solved. So the other 5 foods that are massive amounts of nutrition that come from Russia, Mongolia, Manchuria, from Tibet and the Himalayas, South America, and New Zealand, those 5 foods that are from fulfillment companies, those fulfillment companies offer you 100%. I'm not trying to sell anybody, but it's true. I mean, you need to know it's 100% money back guarantee, no questions asked. Cynde, is it a complete rarity when anybody wants a refund?
yes, I think in 2 years, maybe I might have had one lady. And then after she returned it, she wanted it, she ordered again. So she was like, "Oh, wait a minute, I need to get it back." So yeah, it's just, it's people are blown away by the results. I always say, give us 11 days,
Well,
and
but
you are going to see.
so in addition to that, I know that you're working with MDs, medical doctors.
Mhm.
Are
Right.
they not, even themselves, have they not been shocked at the results?
Absolutely, absolutely. I have a doctor in South Miami that he has been on blood pressure medicine. He's a doctor. He is now retired. He's been on blood pressure medicine for 30 years. His blood pressure has been 198 over, or I'm sorry, 138 over 98. And so 138 over 98 for 30 years on blood pressure medicine. He can't get it lower. And I said, what? I said, wait a minute, you're a doctor. Don't you think this should get lower? He said, yeah. He goes, I don't get it. He goes, I've tried everything. So in 5 days of being on the protocol, he's got a normal blood pressure.
Wow.
So he called his doctor and he said, hey, buddy, he said, we need to talk about me reducing this some of this medicine. I think I found what I needed. I need nutrition. So that's where it's really making a difference. And it's surprising that so many doctors are on blood pressure medicine, just different medicines. And with the nutrition, they're able to have normal levels now. So.
Yeah, it's really unbelievable. And we know that 80% of Americans are overweight, 50% are obese, 50% are pre-diabetic. And you see it in the practice. You see people, what kids also you see coming
Right.
in, right? I mean, it's not just the parents,
Well,
it's the kids, it's everybody, right?
yeah, not only those doctors that are doing the protocol themselves now in Florida, they're now sending me their patients. So they're referring their patients to me, which is a big plus, because they see the value in it. As well as just like you said, I see patients, I see, kids that are overweight. And it used to be that I would see 1 out of 10 patients that were overweight. Now I'm seeing about 9 out of 10 kids that are
Ha,
overweight. We have to stop the cycle. We
right.
have to find a way to educate and, talk about nutrition and figure out a better way because it's just, it's sad. It's sad when you're seeing 3 year olds that are 98 pounds,
Wow.
10-year-olds that are almost 300 pounds. And, it's just, it used to be such a rare thing to see an overweight child, but where's their quality of life?
Right.
Are they going to be able to run and play and, do all the things? It's just, it's
Well, I,
sad.
I I think, would you agree, this is not a diet. It's nothing like a diet.
No,
Get that,
no,
get that
no.
calorie counting thing
Get
totally out of
that
your
out
mind.
of your head.
It's
Yes,
it's
it is
it's really
not.
it's really about quality of life, of improving, whether it's a child, whether it's an adult, et cetera. I think the main thing we all should concentrate on is our quality of life potential. And everyone, don't get confused. When we're talking about nutrition, we're not talking about supplements here. We're talking
No.
about nutrition in the sense of massive amount of nutrients, not calories, but also consumed in these very specific ways. That's really important. So it's kind of like, would you agree, Cynde? The ingredients are the 40% of the food from the grocery store, 60% from around the world. So those are the ingredients. But
Right.
the protein pacing and intermittent nutritional fasting, not time restricted eating, none of that stuff, is the recipe that's producing results. Well, for example, these medical doctors that are referring patients to you, they wouldn't have done that 2 years ago without the
No,
without the
no.
peer-reviewed human trial studies.
Without the peer reviewed
Zero,
studies,
zero patients.
zero.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would never do that. That's where it's changed everything. The peer reviewed studies have opened the door to, to doctors that, they now want to help their patients with the nutrition. And, this is just a nice way of opening the door and helping them. And I had a lady the other day, she said, this is so strange. She said, I eat. I'm not hungry on this protocol. She said, and I said, great, you're not supposed to be, so let's eat. And she said, this is just so weird to me because normally in my lifetime I've been able to eat small portions and and I said, and how did you feel on that? Well, I was hungry. She said, but I'm not. She said, it almost seems, like I'm cheating by eating so much. But she's full. And in 11 days, guess what? She's
What?
down 12 pounds. 12 pounds in
I'm,
11 days.
I'm only
And she's
laughing
like,
because it's so
how
crazy.
can this work?
Right, exactly. And
But
but again, let's look at the peer-reviewed human trial studies. What did they see? In 30 days, people's hunger came down 41% in 30 days. So it's not surprise. I mean, I laugh every time I hear it, even after 21 years of doing this, right? It's like this, it's almost like, and listen, that I'm a researcher. I don't know anything about how does GPS work? what do you mean there's a car on the side of the road? This is kind of like that. It's like,
Yeah.
how that, we know how it works, but I'm saying for just, average people that are so used to, Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, Nutrisystem, paleo, keto, time restricted eating, which has been proven to be not effective at all. Because every one of these diets, people are losing up to 40% of the lean muscle. And then what they don't understand, it's not just that they're gaining back more weight than they lost. 80% of what they're gaining back is fat. 80, and Cynde, even yourself included, complaining about not just the weight, but the fat. And if we go back to your picture, again, on day one, the transformation is unbelievable, without sit-ups, without crunches, without exercise, because you're too busy. You don't have time to do that. And again, the way you feel, I also believe you've told me before, like your mental acuity, like your brain fog, sleeping better at night, all those things have changed. I know it sounds too good to be true to everybody listening to this podcast, but the point is, it's real. It really did happen to you. And everyone, I want you to see one more time. We did not Photoshop her picture. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to Photoshop.
I don't either.
But here's the cool news. We have so many success stories now. It's really rare. Well, think about that woman. She lost 12 pounds in 11 days. Go to any of the major weight loss programs and ask them about, oh my God, that would be really unhealthy. It would be if you were on a diet, but we have the evidence.
It's happening time and time again, Peter. That's the thing. It's happening time and time again. I have another guy, same thing. Sean, he lost 14 pounds in 11 days. No workout.
Yep.
Zero, and it just follows.
Yeah, but the transformation.
I
actually did an interview with him like a week or so ago. His stomach. Sean, did you Photoshop those pictures? I mean, I was kidding with him.
No,
I know.
Yeah, of course.
And now isn't he down like 20 pounds or something? Now it's been like, what, 18
I think
days?
It's 19 days and 19 pounds. I can't wait to see the transformation. Yeah, we'll see it soon. But he's just incredible results.
Yeah. Well, is there anything in closing that you'd like to say to both men and women out there that are really, we understand you're skeptical. That's okay, right? Mm-hmm. But you're a health professional. You're a nurse. I mean, have you ever seen anything like this?
No, nothing. I have searched high and low, and like I said, I've done everything out there. I think I was the guinea pig for pick me, I'll try it, and I've tried it all, and it just never worked for me. So this is truly changed my life and changed so many other people's lives, and
But the
I'm
key
so happy
is
to be a part of it.
the sustainability. That's what you've proven.
Yes.
You've proven.
It's not a yo-yo plan.
Right,
It
right.
is, it is a solid, you are not going to see those numbers dipping up,
Well,
none of that. It's just, it's real.
Just tell everybody about the high school comment. We didn't cover that.
Oh.
Just tell them now.
I'm below my high school weight. So in high school, I went to modeling school, and they actually told me, because I'm 5'9", and they told me that I was overweight. And so now I am below that high school weight. I am 4 pounds below my high school
Wow.
weight. And it's just, it's incredible.
Yeah.
It really is. It just,
Well, I'm so pleased
wow.
that you're part of the New Health Conversation. You're one of our super coaches. We're blessed that you're in the medical profession, and we have people like that, because these are real medical results that are backed up by real medical studies, not hyperbole, not Peter Greenlaw's opinion. We don't give people opinions. And, the 4 books that I've written, which I have, which are Why Diets Are Failing Us, the TDOS Syndrome, the TDOS Solutions, and Your Third Brain, which isn't a trick title. And I'm not telling the audience that to impress you, but for 20 years, I have to tell you, no medical doctor would take a look at this until we had Cynde, she, we were kind of friends. I talked to her probably once a year. And when I got the medical studies, I sent them to her. She called me the next day and said, my God, this is amazing. And that's really what's happened now. So we're not convincing people. We're not selling people. We're educating. We're making people aware of something that, like you said, This has completely changed your life. I mean, my God, you look wonderful at 56. I mean, you do look like you're about 40. I mean, it's crazy, you know, but
Thank you.
also I think it's the joy in your face. And listen, when we got together 20 years ago, you had some pretty severe medical challenges that you've
Right.
overcome. And obviously it would be something to be concerned about as you've gotten older, but you're, well, your scale told you cut 10 years off your life. I think you
Yeah,
better keep
yeah.
going. If you go much
Exactly.
longer, you're going to get carded.
Oh, that'll be great. I won't care. But yeah, 20 years ago, I had great results. I did have some medical challenges then, and I really overcame those with this product, and I was blown away. And I stayed on it for approximately, 6 years. And then,
Life got in the way.
as a healthcare professional, I thought that by eating chicken and eating like red bell pepper and adding certain things in my meal plan, that was the key, when all reality was I needed those vitamins and minerals from the shake. So
Right,
that was the key element,
right,
and I'm so glad I came back, and with those peer reviewed studies, it just made everything make sense,
great.
that this is where I need to be and this is what I need to be doing. So,
Well, I can't thank you enough for sharing your amazing story, and I'm going to show everybody one last time her amazing transformation. And notice at 730 days, she's thinner than she was when she started, basically 20 years ago. I mean, if she's below her high school
yeah.
weight, I mean, what else do we need to say other than that? So I want to
Hmm.
thank you very, very much, and I really hope this will get some of you to be curious. You can go to Cynde, Cynde, R2M.com, and you can actually talk to her live. Really, it's not a recording. It's not somebody in an 800 line. I mean, she's done it. She's coached probably hundreds of people now. And we're here to give you the opportunity to be aware of this amazing, amazing protocol. So I hope you will take advantage of that. And have a wonderful day, Cynde. Thank you so much, okay?
Okay, thank you. Very
Bye.
nice.
Bye.
Bye.